Noswaith dda bawb, a chroeso I sesiwn adolygu Carlam Cymru. Bydd sesiwn heddi yn canolbwyntio ar Ffrangeg uwch gyfrannol ac yn cael ei gyflwyno gan Alison Pritchard o Ysgol Gymraeg Bro Dir. Bydd y sesiwn yn para tua 45 munud, lle bydd yr athro yn cyflwyno'r cynnwys perthnasol. Os oes gennych unrhyw gwestiynau yn ystod y sesiwn, defnyddiwch yr adran cwestiwn ac ateb Q&A a fe wnawn yn gorau i ateb eich cwestiynau. Fe welwch chi bod dolen yn yr adran cwestiwn ac ateb. Os ydych chi'n hapus i adael eich enw a'ch cyfeiriad e-bost, byddwn ni wrth ein bodd yn cadw mewn cysylltiad â chi mwyn anfon gwybodaeth atoch chi am ddigwyddiadau eraill yn y dyfodol. Gallwch glicio ar y ddolen ar unrhyw adeg yn ystod y sesiwn. Bydd sesiwn heddi yn cael ei recordio, a bydd y recordiad ac unrhyw adnoddau perthnasol yn cael ei rhoi ar wefan e-sgol o dan y tab Carlam Cymru. Good evening everybody and welcome to the Carlam Cymru revision sessions. The session this evening will focus on AS French and will be presented by Alison Pritchard from Ysgol Gymraeg Bro Dir. The session will last around 45 minutes where the teacher will run through the relevant content. If you have any questions during the session, please use the question and answer Q&A section and we'll do our best to answer the questions. You will see that there's a hyperlink in the Q&A section. If you are happy to leave your name and email address, we would love to keep in touch with you so we can send you information about future events. You can click on the link at any time during the recording. Today's session will be recorded and the recording and any relevant resources will be uploaded to the e-sgol website under the Carlam Cymru tab. Thank you. Dyma neges jyst i sy'n hoffa sesiwn heno yn ddwyieithog. Just a quick reminder to tell you that today's session is bilingual. Diolch, draw at chi. Over to you.
Diolch Kerry. Okay, noswaith dda, good evening everybody. Bonsoir. Donc, ce soir, on va étudier les cartes A. Felly heno, rydyn ni'n mynd i edrych at y cerdyn A yn yr arholiad llafar. Ok, bonjour, je m'appelle Madame Pritchard. L'objectif ce soir, c'est de discuter les exigences de la carte A pour l'examen oral au niveau AS. Felly, fel ydych chi'n gwybod, bydd rhaid i chi gwneud 2 tasg yn yr arholiad llafar, gyda cerdyn A a cerdyn B. So I'm sure you're aware by now that in the speaking exam for the AS French exam, you will have to do 2 tasks, card A and card B. So heno ni'n mynd i ffocysu ar cerdyn A. So tonight we will focus just on card A. Popeth dwi'n dangos chi heno yn dod o'r ymaneldeb. So everything, all the information that I share with you tonight comes from the WJC specification. I don't work for the WJC, I just teach French. Okay, so ni'n mynd i ffocysu ar tasg 1, dadlau safbwynt yn seiliedig ar gerdyn ysgogi ysgrifenedig, 5 i 6 munud. So arguing a point of view based on a written stimulus card, which will last 5 to 6 minutes. So this is part of the speaking assessment. Mae rhan o'r asesiad siarad, fel chi'n gallu gweld yna. So, bydd gan ymgeiswyr 15 munud o amser paratoi. You will have 15 minutes preparation time before starting the exam. A hefyd, mae'n bwysig i gwybod bod byddwch chi ddim yn gallu defnyddio geiriadur yn ystod yr asesiad o gwbl. So you will not be able to use dictionaries at all throughout the speaking assessment. And dwi'n siŵr na ydych chi'n gwybod bod bydd eich athrawon yn gwneud yr arholiad gyda chi. So your teachers will be carrying out the exam with you this year. Donc, qu'est-ce qu'il faut apprendre? Qu'est-ce qu'il faut apprendre? Alors, les thèmes, quels sont les thèmes? Donc, pour la carte A, voici les thèmes. So, dyna'r themau am y cerdyn A. So, ni'n cael deall y byd Ffrangeg a iaith, understanding the French-speaking world. So, bydd rhaid i chi adolygu y themau yma am cerdyn A. Hefyd, dwi ddim yn siŵr os ydych chi wedi gweld nhw, ond mae llawer o trefnyddion y gwybodaeth ar-lein ar y gwefan Cybac. So there are lots of these knowledge organisers on the WJC site, which may be of benefit to you. So there's a variety there. You can download them from their website. Okay, so mae cerdyn A yn ffocysu ar dadl, argument. Okay, bydd dau safpwynt ar y cerdyn, so there'll be two opposing viewpoints on the card, a bydd rhaid I chi dewis un ohonyn nhw. Okay, a hefyd, gall ymgeiswyr rhag ddewis is-thema o'r thema deall y byd Ffrangeg a iaith cyn yr arholiad siarad. So you will be able to pre-select a sub-theme from understanding the French-speaking world prior to the speaking assessment. So your teacher will go through that with you. So dyna nhw, diwylliant a threftadaeth rhanbarthol yn Ffrainc ac mewn gwledydd a chymunedau Ffrangeg a iaith, a llenyddiaeth celfyddyd, ffilm a cherddoriaeth yn y byd Ffrangeg a iaith. So regional culture and heritage in France, French-speaking countries and communities, literature, art, film, music in the French-speaking world. So bydd rhaid I chi dewis un ohonyn nhw. You'll be able to choose one of those two. And obviously then within that sub-theme, you won't quite know what exactly is going to come up, but it just gives you a little bit more of an idea. Okay, so dwi ddim moyn mynd dros popeth heno. I don't want to go through, just read every slide to you tonight. But what I would say is if you want to download this video, and you can pause it then at any time to make sure you can read and process all of the information on the slides, okay? Mae rhywbeth bwysig yma, gall yr ymgeisydd dewis pa gerdyn yw ddefnyddio I ddechrau'r asesiad. So you were able to choose either set A or set B to start the assessment, whichever one you prefer. A bydd rhaid I chi dweud wrth yr arolwyr pa safbwynt dych chi wedi dewis, so you'll have to tell the examiner which standpoint, which opinion you've chosen. So there will be two opinions on each card, and then you will argue one point and your teacher will argue the other point, okay, the counter argument. Oedd rhywbeth arall? Oh yeah, mae hwnna'n bwysig. Nad oes safbwynt cywir neu anghywir. Okay, so there's no right or wrong standpoint. What they're going to be assessing is your French language and your knowledge and understanding of France and French-speaking communities. Okay, so mae'n really bwysig, does dim ateb cywir neu anghywir, okay? Just barn. So bydd yr holl asesiad yn para 15 munud. So the whole assessment will last 15 minutes, but the card A will be 5 to 6 minutes and card B will be 7 to 9 minutes. Bydd rhaid I chi wneud nodiadau yn ystod yr amser paratoi. So you will be able to make some notes during the preparation time period just before the exam, ond nid ar y cardiau, not on the cards. A bydd rhaid I chi cyflwyno'r nodiadau i'r arholwr ar ddiwedd y prawf, and you'll have to give these to the examiner at the end of the test. So remember, you don't want full sentences, dych chi ddim moyn defnyddio brawddegau llawn, just nodiadau, notes, just as a help. Hefyd, rhywbeth bwysig, bydd rhaid I chi ofyn o leiaf 2 cwestiwn yn ystod yr asesiad. So you will have to ask the examiner at least 2 questions in the assessment, one in each of the 2 tasks, at least one in each of the 2 tasks. So bydd rhaid I chi paratoi cwestiynau hefyd, so think about the questions that you could prepare. Okay, comment réussir? So sut I fod yn llwyddiannus? How do you succeed in this task? Comment réussir? Felly, dwi ddim yn mynd I darllen dros nhw. I'm not going to read through these, but dyma gofynion. Here are some of the requirements that they mention in the book. So, yeah, bob task and 24 marks. So each task is worth 24 marks. Mae 2 grid marcio, so there are 2 marking grids, so byddai'n dangos i chi nawr. So task 1, so dyna beth ni'n mynd i gwneud nawr, dadl argument. Bydd rhaid i chi defnyddio AO1, AO3, AO4, so A1, AA3, AA4, okay? So a dyna'r mark scheme yn Gymraeg, a dyna fe yn Saesneg. Obviously, fel ydych chi'n gwybod, ydych chi'n gallu pause neu lawrlwytho fe os ydych chi moyn defnyddio fe. Dwi jyst wedi cut y top row yma nawr, so sut i fod yn llwyddiannus. This is how to get the top marks in this task. So, we have the first column, understand and respond in speech to spoken language, including face-to-face interaction. So, deall ac ymateb ar lafar I iaith lafar gan gynnwys rhyngweithio wyneb yn wyneb, and you can see the criteria there. Wedyn, manipulate the language accurately in spoken forms using a range of lexis and structure. So really show off beth ydych chi'n gallu gwneud, okay, what you're able to do. So defnyddio'r iaith yn gywir a'r ffurf lafar gan ddefnyddio ystod o eirfeoedd a strwythurau. A wedyn y trydydd colofn, show knowledge and understanding of different aspects of the culture and society of countries or communities where the language is spoken. And unwaith eto, ydych chi'n gallu darllen dros nhw. And once again, you can read through those to see how to get the full marks. So yn Gymraeg, dangos gwybodaeth a dealltwriaeth o agweddau gwahanol ar ddiwylliant a chymdeithas, gwledydd neu cymunedau lle mae'r iaith yn cael ei siarad. Now, fel ydych chi'n gallu gweld, mae mwy marc o'r trydydd colofn. So, as you can see, there are more marks for the third column. So, mae'n really bwysig dych chi'n ymchwilio y themau, pob thema, jyst rhag ofn, yn Ffrainc neu gwledydd a cymunedau ble maen nhw'n siarad Ffrangeg. So, in France and French-speaking countries or communities. So, mae hwnna'n dangos sut mor bwysig yw e. This just shows us how important it is that you do that, because that's where we get the most marks. Hefyd, dyna gwybodaeth o'r principal examiner, ble mae'n dweud bod mae llawer o disgyblion ddim yn cael digon o dealltwriaeth o Ffrainc a gwledydd ble maen nhw'n siarad Ffrainc. So, you can read through this. It just tells us that the examiner says that many of the pupils didn't have a good enough knowledge and understanding of France and French-speaking countries in order to give examples and talk about the culture and so on. So please, gwneud ymchwil, do some research. This is a summary here. In short, to do well in task 1, in addition to good quality French, obviously, candidates must know detailed, relevant information about France, French-speaking countries or communities for the sub-themes. In addition, candidates must also, of course, have the ability to present information using persuasive language and debating skills to counter arguments. So, ydych chi'n gallu gweld yna beth maen nhw'n edrych am, okay? Ni'n cael y mark scheme hefyd, a dyna gwybodaeth o'r arolwyr, and also some information from the examiner. So, I've just summarised some of the key points here. Again, I do not work for the WJC. This is just my opinion, what I would tell my students. So, dechrau gyda chyfeiriad at y pwynt dadl. So, start with a reference to the argument point. Dadlau y pwynt gydag amrywiaeth o feddyliau, teimladau a safbwyntiau wedi'u hategu gan dystiolaeth. So argue the point with a variety of thoughts, feelings and viewpoints supported by evidence. Mae hwnna'n bwysig, that's very important. Gwneud cyfeiriadau at Ffrainc a gwledydd Ffrangeg a iaith, dangos gwybodaeth a dealltwriaeth fanwl o ddiwylliant a chymdeithas. So make references to France and French-speaking countries, demonstrate an in-depth knowledge and understanding of the culture and society. Rhif 4 yw gofyn cwestiwn, so number 4 is to ask a question, o leiaf un, at least one. Gramadeg cywir gan gynnwys amrywiaeth o idiomau a strwythurau brawddegau, so accurate grammar, including a variety of idioms and sentence structures. So dyna pethau ni chi'n gallu paratoi nawr. Yeah, these are things you can start preparing for now. Grammar and sentence structures, idioms, Gwanwyn, given your point of view and so on. Ac yn ganu a thonyddiaeth gywir, so accurate pronunciation and intonation. Just rhag ofn ydych chi ddim yn siŵr beth yw e. So in case you're not sure what it is, intonation is the way your voice moves. So you need to sound natural, mae'n bwysig I swnio naturiol. So enghraifft, os dwi'n dweud, rwy'n byw yn Abertawe a mae'n dda, dydy hwnna ddim yn swnio naturiol. So if I say something like, I live in Swansea, it's very nice. You can see that that just doesn't sound natural, it doesn't flow. So the intonation is very important for you to sound natural. Right, I ddechrau te, bydd rhaid I chi paratoi barn. So to start, you will have to prepare for opinions. So comment donner son avis, comment être persuasif, comment débattre, debate, comment donner un contre-argument. So pryd mae'r athro yn dweud rhywbeth, bydd rhaid I chi dod yn ôl gyda counter-argument, okay? So when your teacher gives their point of view, then you will need to counter-argue that as well. Say, oh, however, on the other hand, so pethau fel na, on the other hand, ar yr ochr arall, a pethau fel na, okay? So bydd rhaid I chi paratoi barn. Now, mae llawer o pethau ar-lein. There's lots of things online that you can take. So I've just shown you a couple of examples. Rydych chi'n gallu gwneud ymchwil hefyd. You can do your own research as well, okay? So things like, je suis d'accord, je ne suis pas d'accord, je considère que, j'en doute, je pense que, things like that. Mae nhw yn tegau, so bydden nhw yn hawdd. They would be quite easy because you use those for GCSE. But now I would say it would be better to offer some more complex language. So bydd well I dangos mwy o iaith cymleth nawr fel level A. Erfau yma, so some verbs here related to a given opinions, a mwy o brawddegau yma, some more sentences here, including asking an opinion, because cofiwch bydd rhaid I chi gofyn cwestiwn, you will have to ask a question as well, at least one. Mwy o brawddegau yma, je dois dire que, I must say that, mae rhaid I fi ddweud bod, j'estime que, il me semble que, j'ai l'impression que, etc. Je suis persuadée que, je suppose que, pethau fel personnellement, quant à moi, and des choses comme ça, so things like that. That you could use to link sentences together as well, or to start sentences. Supporting opinions, c'est possible que, c'est probable que, c'est sûr que, etc. Gofyn cwestiynau, asking for opinions. So dyna enghreifftiau. J'aimerais avoir votre réaction face à, a wedyn y pwynt ydych chi wedi gwneud, a mwy o cwestiynau yma. Okay. A hefyd, findes I ar y we, I found this on the online as well. So byddwch chi'n gallu darllen droso fe ar eich ben eich hun. So you can read through these in your own time. Just pause the recording and just have a little look through, or do some research yourself. Na ydych chi'n gallu gwneud ymchwil ychwanegol. So we've got different titles here, avoid and express an opinion. Really, dych chi ddim moyn gwneud hwnna, oherwydd dych chi moyn rhoi barn, you need to give an opinion. Okay, dych chi'n gallu agree gyda'r athro hefyd. Cytuno, sorry. Neu anghytuno, disagree. O, hefyd, welais I y gwefan yma, pan roeddwn ni'n edrych. So dwi wedi rhoi y link yna, o'r enw Cram, a basically maen nhw'n cael French debate phrases, well, flashcards, memorise, test, games ac yn y blaen. So roeddwn ni'n meddwl efallai bydd hwnna'n defnyddiol i chi i ymarfer y brawddegau hon. Right, okay. Ni'n mynd i edrych at 2 enghraifft nawr heno. So dyma rhif 1, so par exemple, so card A1, a dych chi'n gallu darllen dros o fe, bob tro mae'n dweud yr un peth. Ci-dessus, il y a 2 points de vue différents sur les plats régionaux en France. Choisissez une de ces opinions à défendre. L'examinateur, examinatrice prendra l'avis contraire dans la discussion. So mae nhw'n dweud hwnna, so just i esbonio beth sy'n digwydd. So they just say that to explain that what the theme is, the main theme, and also then to say that your teacher will be the opposing viewpoint. So ici, on a opinion A. Il est important de conserver et de promouvoir les plats régionaux français. Opinion B. De nos jours, le fast-food américain présent en France est plus important que la cuisine régionale. So dyna beth byddwch chi'n gweld yn arholiad. This is what you will see. Ond hefyd, dwi wedi ychwanegu syniadau am yr athrawon. So I've also added information given to teachers of things that maybe they could look at. Byddwch chi ddim yn gweld hwnna yn yr arholiad. You won't see this in the exam. Ond dwi jyst dangos chi just am syniadau nawr, right, just i ymarfer. So these are just to practice and to have a little look at. So you can see that for opinion A, they say that you could talk about maybe the importance of dishes and food in one or more region. So if you do a little bit of research on at least one region of France, you know what their specialities are. Examples of well-known food and dishes. So, for example, certain cheeses like Camembert, Brie, and so on, quiche Lorraine, etc. And why? So maybe they encourage tourism, they're good for the local economy, consolidate regional or national identity. And the role of food in a particular region or regions in a French or Francophone context, and the importance to history, heritage, identity, and local economy. So they give you, well, I'm giving you those ideas now, you won't see those in the exam. Or opinion B, so the bit about fast food, international, so it's fast food is international. For example, American global importance of certain foods such as hamburgers. Regional foods are parochial, limited, lack general appeal. Food tastes move on, and we have less time to eat these days. Okay, so dyna syniadau I chi. A dyna nhw yn Gymraeg hefyd. Here they are in Welsh too. So dych chi'n gallu darllen dros nhw, mae'n yr un peth yn union just yn Gymraeg, okay? So you can look through those and they are the Welsh version. Mae'r cwestiwn yn yr un peth. So, I ddechrau, cofiwch, faites quelques recherches. Mae rhaid I chi gwneud ymchwil. You will need to do research on all of the themes. Just rag ofn, just in case, okay? As you don't know which one is going to come up. So, dyna enghraifft o ymchwil, right? It's in English. This is an example of some research that I just found online. Mae'n really hawdd I gwneud ymchwil. It's so easy to do some research. Literally, you just type in the theme you're looking for or a question and just maybe print out some information or write it down on some paper, maybe do a spider diagram, however you learn best, it's up to you. So for example, here, I've did some research on famous French dishes. So we have la poule au pot, bab au rhum, la galette des rois, and each of them gives a little bit of information. So you can see here with, for example, la galette des rois, that the importance it still has for certain festivals and celebrations in France. So it's definitely a cultural food, which has a lot of meaning in France. So you could use this as a lovely example. So bydd rhaid I chi defnyddio la galette des rois fel enghraifft gwych yn yr arholiad, oherwydd mae'n really dangos diwylliant Ffrainc hefyd. So just darllen dros nhw, read through them, do your own research, gwneud ymchwil. Dyma statistics are ranking of the major fast food companies in France in 2020. So fel chi'n gallu gweld, mae McDonald's ar y top. So as you can see, McDonald's is at the top by far, actually. And you can see some other bits down here. So for example, Domino's, you would recognize, and some other, so Flunch, and so on. Down here we have Quick. Quick is a very French takeaway outlet. So yeah, there's some information just so you can use that in your answers. Also, mae gwybodaeth yma o ran sut mae'r bobl Ffrainc nawr wedi newid ai eating habits, I suppose. So mae'n dweud bod France, known for its fine dining, fresh produce and the slim waistlines, but the reality is quite different. Half of French adults are overweight and 1 in 6 is obese. Enghraifft, okay? So, anyway, dwi ddim moyn treulio gormod o'r amser ar yr ymchwil. Rydych chi'n gallu gwneud hwnna ar eich ben eich hun, okay? Also, it should come to no surprise to know that France is the world's most popular tourist destination. Mae hwnna'n bwysig hefyd. Gwybodaeth yma am the fast food industry here, and percentage of French people who like fast food restaurants in 2019. So, ydych chi'n gallu gweld bod bobl rhwng 18 a 24 oed yn fwyaf, a wedyn mae pobl o 65 oed a mwy yn llai. So 28% of 65-year-olds would go to fast food restaurants, whereas 84% of young people. So unwaith eto, mae statistig I defnyddio yn yr arholiad, okay? So, dyma'r cwestiynau nawr yn, well, Gymraeg a Saesneg, ond beth sy'n bwysig yw y Ffrangeg anyway, okay? So beth hoffwn I gwneud nawr yw just dangos chi enghreifftiau o pa fath o atebion ydych chi'n gallu rhoi. So I'm going to give you some examples now of the type of answers you could use. But please don't think they're the best answers or the only answers. They're just examples. So dydyn nhw ddim yr atebion gorau yn y byd, maen nhw'n just enghreifftiau. OK, so dwi'n dechrau gyda opinion A. Il est important de conserver et de promouvoir les plats régionaux français. So let's have a look at a possible answer there. Selon moi, la France est la destination touristique la plus populaire au monde et de nombreux touristes viennent en France pour goûter ses spécialités locales comme le cassoulet à Toulouse, la saucisse ou la foie gras. Ça veut dire qu'il est important de conserver et de promouvoir les plats régionaux français. So that could possibly be an opening statement. So I've referred to the discussion card. I've referred to the bullet point, the opinion that I need to argue. I've used selon moi to make sure I'm showing that I'm giving my opinion. And I've used ça veut dire. That is to say that. So, dwi wedi dechrau gan rhoi fy barn I o ran barn A, a dwi wedi defnyddio'r brawddeg ar y cerdyn, cos bydd rhaid I chi cysylltu gyda'r cerdyn. You need to make sure it connects to the card to show that you've understood. Okay, ddangos bod chi wedi deall y pwynt yna. Right, now mae B, so obviously mae lan I chi os ydych chi moyn gwneud A neu B. So mae B now yw yr opposite opinion, so we're going to show how an answer could possibly come from this. So enghraifft. Au contraire, moi je dirais que le fast-food américain est plus important que la cuisine régionale en France de nos jours. Tout le monde est pressé de nos jours et il est donc plus facile de manger du fast-food que passer du temps à cuisiner à la maison. Quant à moi, je le trouve savoureux aussi. Que pensez-vous du fast-food? So, yna dwi wedi cysylltu i'r cerdyn. So I've linked that to the card, to the opinion on the card. Dwi wedi defnyddio au contraire. Je dirais que... quoi d'autre? Quant à moi, je le trouve So I've used some of those sentences to show my opinion. A hefyd, dwi wedi gofyn cwestiwn. I've also asked a question. Que pensez-vous du fast food? I'm not saying it's the best question in the world, but it's a question nonetheless, okay? And it's a starting point. Right, so on va continuer maintenant. So byddwn ni'n parhau now. We'll continue with the argument. So falle bydd A yn ddweud, so perhaps A could then say, moi je ne l'aime pas trop. So dydy A ddim yn hoffi fast food, okay? So perhaps person A doesn't like fast food. Personnellement, je trouve que les plats célèbres ont souvent un meilleur goût, so a better taste, lorsqu'ils sont consommés dans leur ville d'origine. C'est plus authentique, more authentic. De plus, il soutient l'économie locale. Les chefs locaux sont souvent très fiers de servir leur spécialité. Okay, so dwi wedi parhau gyda'r dadl. I've continued with the argument, trying to, again, support what I've said about maybe supporting the local economy and so on. And then ba yn gallu ateb gyda, perhaps, efallai. Oui, c'est vrai, mais la cuisine est souvent vraiment chère, tandis que le fast food est moins cher. So maybe you could relate it to the price, perhaps that's why it's more popular. Efallai dyna pam mae'n poblogaidd oherwydd dydy ddim yn drud. J'ai entendu dire que, as another phrase there, j'ai entendu dire que le restaurant fast food est plus populaire en France et toujours McDo. So dyna'r enghraifft o'r ymchwil dwi wedi gwneud I dangos bod mae McDonald's yn mwyaf poblogaidd. So I've shown there from my research that I know that McDonald's is the most popular fast food chain in France. En plus, les jeunes Français sont plus nombreux à fréquenter les fast food, suivis des jeunes familles. Cependant, les Français accordent beaucoup plus d'importance à la qualité des produits utilisés. A mae hwnna'n wir hefyd. That's true as well, because it was again, well, I'm just saying it's true. It's what I read online, that the French are far more concerned about the quality of the products. They want local products, maybe organic products as well. Okay, so dyna fe, dyna yw'r enghraifft cyntaf. There's the first example. So byddai'n gwneud un arall nawr. I'll do another example with you on a different theme. So, ci-dessus, il y a deux points de vue différents sur la littérature française. So dyna'r thema nawr, French literature, okay, llenyddiaeth Ffrangeg. So unwaith eto, choisissez une de ces opinions à défendre. L'examinateur, examinatrice prendra l'avis contraire dans la discussion. So barn A, la littérature française classique est bien connue dans le monde entier. Neu barn B, la littérature française classique n'est pas appréciée de nos jours à l'étranger. Unwaith eto, dwi wedi ychwanegu'r gwybodaeth ychwanegol am yr athrawon. So once again, I've included here the additional information and ideas given to teachers. Ac unwaith eto byddai'n dweud byddwch chi ddim yn gweld hwnna yn yr arholiad. You will not see that in the exam, only your teachers. Okay? A dyna fe yn Ffrangeg hefyd. In Saesneg hefyd. Here it is in English as well. Okay? And also, just in case, I've translated the bullet points. I'm sure you understand them, but just in case. Okay, unwaith eto, beth sy'n bwysig, faites quelques recherches. Il est très important de faire des recherches. Mae'n bwysig iawn I gwneud ymchwil. It's very important to do your research. Donc, on peut chercher des auteurs français. We can look for some French authors. Ni'n gallu ymchwilio am awdur Ffrangeg fel Victor Hugo. So, par exemple, Victor Hugo. So, for example, enghraifft Victor Hugo. Dwi'n cymysgu'r ieithoedd nawr, sorry guys. Dwi wedi blino. So, dyna gwybodaeth ar Victor Hugo. Hefyd mae mwy o gwybodaeth yma. Tri arall, so 3 more here. Albert Camus, Marcel Proust et Jean-Paul Sartre, par exemple. So rydych chi'n gallu dewis gwybodaeth dych chi'n gallu cofio. So I would say to choose information that you feel you will be able to learn, okay? So look for authors, look for books, and just try to learn a couple again, maybe do a spider diagram on each topic so you can learn some facts. There's a modern author there. Dyma gwybodaeth ar, I suppose, the title yw French authors routinely appear in English-speaking worlds. Ie, mae'n siarad am pam dydy'r llyfrau Ffrangeg ddim yn poblogaidd ar draws y byd. So this kind of talks about why French literature isn't popular around the world, okay? Syniadau efallai am pam. A ydych chi'n gallu defnyddio'r syniadau yma i'ch helpu chi. Okay, so yn ôl i'r question, back to the question then. So, o ran barn A, par exemple, selon moi, la littérature française classique est bien connue dans le monde entier. Par exemple, même si on ne l'a pas vu, presque tout le monde a vu Les Misérables au théâtre. C'est une œuvre de Victor Hugo écrit en 1862. So again, I've related it back to the card. Dwi wedi cysylltu fe yn ôl i'r cerdyn. Dwi wedi defnyddio selon moi, so I've used selon moi, par exemple, etc. A dwi wedi rhoi gwybodaeth, I've given information as well, I've given an example and I would have learned a date there as well. Ond nawr, o ran opinion B, so as for now, opinion B, vous avez peut-être raison, mais je dirais qu'en général, la littérature française classique n'est pas appréciée de nos jours à l'étranger. C'est peut-être dommage, mais c'est vrai. Même la littérature anglaise classique devient de moins en moins populaire. So, dwi wedi cytuno gyda'r person arall. So I've agreed with the other person. Ond wedyn dwi wedi parhau i ddweud yr ochr arall o'r dadl. But I've also then gone on to say the other side of the argument as well. So je dirais que en général, etc. Okay. Beth arall? Okay. So gobeithio byddwch chi'n deall y pwyntiau yma. A wedyn I parhau, so just to continue from here, efallai bydd y person yn ddweud, je suis d'accord qu'ils sont moins populaires. So dwi'n cytuno bod maen nhw'n llai poblogaidd, so I agree that they're less popular. Mais quant à moi, so again you bring it back to your own opinion, so dych chi'n siarad am eich barn chi. Les chefs d'œuvre comme Madame Bovary, par Gustave Flaubert et L'étranger par Albert Camus restent connus autour du monde. So they're still known around the world, surtout parmi les intellectuels. So surtout yw yn enwedig, especially amongst scholars. Oh, sorry, so yeah, unrhyw beth dwi'n moyn dweud hwnna. Dwi wedi rhoi enghreifftiau eraill, fel Madame Bovary et L'étranger. So again, you need to show that you've done some research and that you're aware of some classic literature as well. A wedyn, and then, je pense que non. Pour moi, la littérature classique est devenue un peu démodée, puisque beaucoup de monde, surtout les jeunes, veulent être divertis normalement par les jeux vidéo, le sport ou les voyages, par exemple. Ce sont plus amusants, non? So, dwi ddim wedi gofyn cwestiwn eto. Mae hwnna'n fallai fel cwestiwn, ond bydd well I gofyn cwestiwn ychwanegol. This could be perhaps seen as a question, but I would also add an additional question just to make sure it's seen as a question, okay? Yeah. Okay, so par exemple, so bydd rhaid I chi rhoi enghreifftiau, you will have to give examples, okay, of any research that you've done. A dyna fe, so that was the second example, yr ail enghraifft. So now, just I orffen heno, que peut-on faire pour se préparer? Beth ydyn ni'n gallu gwneud I paratoi? So what can we do to prepare for this exam? Dydy ddim yn arholiad hawdd. It's not going to be an easy exam. Ond y mwyaf o ymchwil ydych chi'n gwneud, yr hawsach bydd hyn. So the more preparation and revision you do, the easier the exam will be. And if I were you, I would start now. Byddai'n dechrau nawr. Oherwydd, mae'r amser yn hedfan. Time flies, and before you know it, the exams will be upon us. And obviously, bydd rhaid I chi adolygu am popeth, adolygu am eich pynciau eraill, adolygu am y ffilm, gwrando ac yn y blaen. So please, 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 dechreuwch nawr. If I were you, I would start revising now, definitely. Okay, so qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire? Beth ydyn ni'n gallu gwneud? What can we do? Apprendre le vocabulaire clé pour tous les sujets. Felly, dysgu y geirfa penodol am bob thema. Revise vocabulary for each theme. Réviser la grammaire. Adolygu gramadeg. Mae hwnna'n really bwysig. Bydd rhaid I chi siarad yn gywir. You will have to speak accurately in the exam to get those top marks. Donner des avis plus complexes, positifs et négatifs avec justification. Il faut toujours expliquer pourquoi et donner des exemples de la France ou des pays francophones pour démontrer vos idées. So, bydd rhaid I chi rhoi barn cymleth. So, give a complex opinion. Cadarnhaol, negyddol, so positive and negative with justification. So, pam, dych chi'n credu hwnna? Enghreifftiau ac yn y blaen, so examples, etc. And always explain why. Mae rhaid I chi esbonio pam bob tro, okay? A rhoi enghreifftiau o Ffrainc a gwledydd ble maen nhw'n siarad Ffrangeg neu cymunedau, so communities or countries where they speak French. Sorry. Apprendre de la culture de la France et des pays francophones. So dysgu diwylliant. So learn about the culture of France and French-speaking countries. Okay. Dyma rhestr o'r gwefannau ble dych chi'n gallu ymarfer gramadeg. So here is a list of websites where you can study French grammar. Mae yna llawer mwy. There are lots more out there. Ond dyna just enghreifftiau. A mae dibynnu beth dych chi moyn gwneud, sut dych chi'n adolygu, pa fath o gramadeg byddwch chi angen adolygu. So, which one you use will depend on, for example, how you learn, which one is clearer to you, which grammar points you need to practice or revise, because each of them will have, I suppose, different strengths and weaknesses, and it'll be up to you which one works best for you. Discourse markers, so dynodwyr mynegiant, so les connecteurs logiques, les organisateurs textuels, a maen nhw'n really defnyddiol i'ch helpu chi cysylltu eich syniadau gyda'n gilydd. So these will be really useful to help you join your ideas together and to continue your debate, okay? So, enghraifft, premièrement, ensuite, ou deuxièmement, finalement, etc. En conclusion, en résumé, en fait, dych chi'n gallu defnyddio pethau fel na, etc. Okay, so obviously bydd rhaid I chi lawrlwytho nhw o'r we ar eich ben eich hun os dydyn nhw ddim yn digon glir. Geiriau llenwi, fillers. Weithiau bydd rhaid I chi meddwl am yr ateb, meddwl am beth dych chi moyn dweud nesa, meddwl am sut I ymateb i'r athro neu athrawes. So sometimes you need to just have a few seconds to think about what you're going to say next. How can you respond to your teacher? So pethau fel alors, mon bien, c'est-à-dire, tu sais, bref, des choses comme ça. So pethau fel na, things like that maybe you could use as you're trying to get your brain into action. Finalement, la pratique. So, I orffen ymarfer, ymarfer, ymarfer. So, finally, to finish, practice, practice, practice. On dit que la pratique rend parfait. So, we say that practice makes perfect. And the more you practice, the better you'll do in the exam. So, please, 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 ymarfer, practice. OK. And vous avez des questions? Si vous avez des questions, vous pouvez les écrire dans la section questions et réponses. So if you have any questions, you can write these down in the question and answer section. So rydych chi'n gallu ysgrifennu unrhyw cwestiwn yn yr lle cwestiwn ac ateb. OK, merci beaucoup. Bonsoir et bonne chance pour les examens. So pob lwc am yr arholiadau. Good luck for your exams. Welwch chi wythnos nesaf. Au revoir.